drill.
Handheld core drill?
Handheld core drill. It can drill up to a 6-inch diameter hole through anything you want it to drill through. We just this is 16 inches. If we need extensions, I got an assortment of extensions in there to keep going if we got to go deeper.
See a tip there.
The diamond tip.
Yep.
Can be cut either dry or with water. Water is makes a better cut.
So I got the hose.
That's why we got the hose
over there.
What we'll do is we'll hook the hose up. Just crack the water just a little bit. Just get a little bit of water in there, so we don't want to flood out the pit and collapse the pit.
Yeah.
With the water. So
yeah, we don't want to do that.
No. Only have to dig once.
All right. So there, I've used hydraulic quick set cement for a 2-inch sleeve, and now I've got a 1 1/4 inch pipe sticking through with a downward pitch that I've measured with a leveler. I'm going to use some dry lock on it. I'm going to seal the 1 1/4 inch with some silicone caulk. So here's the back end coming into the house. I punch through the drywall. Pipes come through. It's going through a 2-inch sleeve. Again, this pipe is 1 1/4 inches. I've used quick set hydraulic cement, and I'll put some dry lock over that when it's dry. I'm going to inject silicone caulking into here, and that should be a pretty good seal. So there is my punch out. I bored a 2-inch plus hole through the cinder block to accommodate a 2-inch PVC sleeve, which I then used hydraulic cement to set. I put a 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe through that with silicone on both sides to seal it. I then went ahead and sealed it with some dry lock, and then I put a little more hydraulic cement around the whole thing, and then recoated it again with some more dry lock. Hopefully that will be nice and watertight. So this is the component that's going to make up the P-trap and wash clean out for the brine discharge. This, if you imagine, would be the pipe going to my dry well. I have a clean out here. I have some fittings to make a U, at which point here will be another piece of PVC, which will then accept the brine discharge, which will go through and in. And here are the actual pieces to make that. So here's the final plumbing. It's got a little clean out. It's got a U shape for to leave some water there so nothing crawls back in. Goes up to the ceiling where I have the hose dumping into the pipe, and it works very well. I'm going to put a frame around here to make it look nice and allow me access to it if I ever have to service it. So I've been pitching the pipe down. I've read the minimum should be a 1% grade, which means 1 inch for every 100 inches. I've certainly done well more than that. And I've made sure the entire time that I'm using a level, and that my level shows that I'm pitching downward the entire length. So I'm going to assemble the flow well. This is the bottom side. This will be the top. Just gonna put this into the grooves, push it down. Next one, same thing. Push it down. This one, same thing. And I'll tell you, since I'm pushing this stuff in a hole, I'm going to just take some screws and put 2 screws in each end. 2 screws here and so on around, so a total of 6 screws. Otherwise this thing's going to fall apart on me. There, now I know that it's good. Now we'll drill out the holes. Next we're going to punch out some holes. So here's the first section of the flow well. It's 2 feet. I've got some pea textile wrapped around it. The rain has set me back, causing cave-ins, and I've used utmost care buttressing the walls when I'm in there, since I don't want this wall to cave in on me when I was down there. I'm just going to use a level, make sure it's nice and straight. I've got some rock in the distance that I'm going to fill in. I'll build this up in 2-foot sections. I'm going to put some pea textile around the lower part of the walls to keep the dirt out. So I've got my textile material around for the granite, well, I don't know, granite, the rock that I'm going to put in. I'm going to build it up 2 feet, then I'll install another 2 foot of the flow well, and so on. I have to say, this is back-breaking work, shoveling that stone. So this is the first 2-foot section. I'm waiting to get the next 2 pieces delivered, and I'll just build it up. I've been using pieces of wood like this to dump my stone in so I can direct it in places rather than shoveling it in individually. So now I have 2 sections, so 4 feet of the flow well. I'm going to fill this in with the gravel, and then I'll put the final section on and just fill it with this sand. The pipe I've checked with a level and it pitches down nicely, so once this is filled in, the last part is just to plumb the inside of the house and we're done. So I've got the whole thing in. I just have to throw in the sandy earth. So the dry well project's completed. I've laid the grass seed down. Took a few days to do. And I hope this video has been helpful.